eating and fueling your body to get to the goal. And these peptides are a supplement to that.
All right, welcome. So we have two lovely guests today that I've been trying to get on for some time now. They are the owners of Onyx Med Spa in Lacey, Washington. So let's welcome Gabrielle and Kara.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, how are you guys doing today?
Good. It's a good day. Got my nails done and
Okay, so you came ready, all right. So what do you think so far?
I love it. I'm loving the vibe that you got going on.
Yeah, I think Noah did a good job putting this together and Courtney. So, yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Who wants to go first?
Oh, like personal?
Well, actually, how did you guys meet? Because you guys are both business partners.
Yeah.
And I know that both of you work out. Is it through the gym? Am I getting warm?
Yes. It's just funny that both of you work out. I think that's very important to Kara and I. But Kara and I actually met working together in the hospital. So we were bedside nurses for quite some time, and then we became friends. We did CrossFit together. We traveled together, did a lot of nursing conferences together. So it was just kind of a natural gravitation towards each other. Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper with that. So you guys were bedside nurses. You work out together. How did you come to this conclusion that you want to open up a med spa?
Yeah.
COVID.
COVID. Okay, that's a good reason.
Sort of.
Okay.
I was like, hey, Gabby, let's go take a Botox class.
Yeah. And I think, one thing about us is we did go to a lot of nursing conferences. So education was something really important to both of us. Mm-hmm. And so when COVID hit, I was learning to trade stocks because I was in a cardiology practice that predominantly all my patients were 65 and older. Mm-hmm. During the pandemic, you only could go to your doctor's appointment if it was absolutely necessary. A lot of patients were in long-term care facilities or they were in nursing homes, and so they were pretty much quarantined. If they had to leave the facility, they would have to go through a process to get back in. And all of a sudden, virtual appointments were what everyone had to do. Mm-hmm. And if you know anything about that older generation, and even us, right? Getting on Zoom was what? I'm talking to my doctor on Zoom. I'm in bed. All those things kind of happened. And so I was finding it where I didn't have very many patients on my schedule, and I was working from home waiting for people to get on Zoom. And so being the person that I am, I'm I got to learn something new. I can't just sit. And so I learned how to trade stocks, and Kara called me and was hey, we already, knew we wanted to do this. We both are very interested. Let's go and let's learn about, injectables. And so I had a friend in the industry, and I reached out to her and connected with our mentor and took a training course. We started our LLC that weekend
yeah.
when, we had to have a business license to go, and we came home and we're all right, we're going to do this.
Yep.
And we literally did.
I mean, that's
later.
awesome. I mean, the fact that you guys inspire and motivate each other, some people just talk about it, right? But to do it in the same week is crazy. That's amazing.
Crazy, a little naive.
But it also goes to show it's when you're around the right people at the right time,
Yeah.
It's a perfect combination.
I do think it's definitely about timing for sure. Because we were both in that place where, I was needing more, and Kara, had wanted to leave the hospital. She was still working at the hospital bedside and had her girls, and it was okay, I don't want to be in a COVID unit anymore. So what can we do?
Crazy.
So both of you are moms then?
Yeah.
Yes.
So working moms. So how many kids do you have? What is the age group?
Yeah, I've got a 9-year-old boy, and he is my everything.
I have 7-year-old twin girls.
Wow. Okay.
Fresh 7.
How do you guys manage that? How do you guys manage it all?
Well, I always say we don't manage it all, and I think that is something that over the last couple of years I've tried to really stand behind. I think we as women try to manage it all. We try to have ownership over an entire household, and then throw in being a business, person or a partner, and it's just not realistic. And so you have to have people around you that help support you, that help you with your goals. You have to have a partner, a spouse that's willing to, step up when you're I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to, put all my like security on the line.
So how do you create that work-life balance that everyone talks about? Because you hear so much of it on social media, the work-life balance. Is that something that you would call a work-life balance? And does that actually exist? Does that work-life balance actually exist?
If you get a house cleaner.
If you get a house cleaner, okay. Well, you have twin girls. That's a lot of work. Yeah. So, I mean, for you, how do you balance that? Twin girls, that must be a lot too.
It's been a lot. And I think just last year focusing on my growth personally has really made a huge difference in being mom, business owner, all the things.
Now, when you say growth, tell me a little bit about both professionally and personally. How do you define growth in each area?
Diving deep into the inner work that we don't want to do.
Okay.
I've strictly started with Thursdays. Like, I'm not doing any work, not doing any housework.
That's got to be hard, though.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I have to do this. So I'd start with that little pieces, and then I would work through some programs.
Okay.
And it just helped me open my eyes differently.
Now, when did you start that? And if that's the case that you started, let's say, a month ago, what has been like the success or what has been the results since you made that decision?
A mindset shift.
Okay.
Like, I don't have to do nothing's an emergency unless it truly is one. And I think I operated in such a high, everything has to be done right now. And flipping that script to...
Now, I noticed that you guys have each other because you both business owners, you have children, you both are, in the medical field. How do you encourage and inspire one another? And then who is your main mentor that you guys will lean on besides each other?
That was a lot.
Yeah. Well, for two things, I want to like double tap on like the work-life balance, because that's like the hill I'll die on, I guess people say these days.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's elusive, right? Like, and to say that you have balance is almost to say that they're equal, which it's not, right? Being a mother is such a huge, priority. And I think being a business owner is a huge priority as well. But it's about the season that you're in and being okay with putting something as the priority first. And then knowing that, like, hey, maybe my business can't be number one right now, but you have to have systems in place to support you stepping away from the business, or vice versa. If you are like, I'm going to spend all my time with my family, well, you better hope that you set your business up for success. That way, when you do step away, the business is still there when you're ready to come back. So I think it's elusive to try and say that they are both equal at all times, because it will shift, it'll oscillate in terms of like, what is the priority? And I think there's so much surrounding around women that we have to like be a perfect mom, and a perfect mom looks different to everybody. So it could be that like, I'm home with my kids 5 days a week. That's the ideal mom. Or, I'm home by 5. So I think the beauty of being an entrepreneur is like you get to set those kind of standards and boundaries for yourself. And then you just kind of build the system to support it. And knowing when that season has flipped and you're like, I'm going gung-ho for whatever it is. And then your other question was, like, who do we lean on? Like, in terms of mentors, I think over the years I've actually like developed a lot of different mentors in terms of like who I reach out for what. Like if I need a refuel or recharge, like I lean on my girlfriends. They are like the life breath breathed back into me when, parenting, being a wife, being a business owner is like, okay, I just need to breathe. And then my husband, honestly, like I couldn't do what I do if he wasn't my backbone, right? Like most people don't realize when you're starting a business, like you're really taking a lot of risk. And for me, it meant walking away from, corporate healthcare where I had health insurance, I had life insurance, I had everything, to protect me, that safety net. And starting a business, you have none of that. And then being a spouse to another entrepreneur, like we both like really had to take big bets on ourselves and on each other. And so I'm grateful for that. And then in the industry, I've made a lot of connections with other practice owners. Like I can text at least 2 or 3 practices here in the, surrounding area and be like, I need this. Do you have it? or like, hey, I've got a issue or a complication. Have you been through this or something? So I think it's really important to find mentors and, like those people that you can call on when you definitely need them.
Yeah. I think you said something that I thought was pretty awesome that sticks out in my mind is, when it comes to that work-life balance, and it's almost as though it's like, I love this balancing scale. At least I'm thinking in my head, it's like, okay, in this season, this is a little bit more important. This requires a bit more attention. Okay, the next season or like next week, this requires a little bit more attention, because it's impossible to give equal amount of attention across the board to be a successful business owner. And sometimes one thing in your business might have to shift where, like you said, it's put on hold for a little bit. So with that being said, if there's something in your business now that you guys could put on hold to say, I need to either give attention to myself or attention to my family, what would that be in your business currently?
I would say for me, this shift has come with being the operator, right? So it's not necessarily putting that on hold, but maybe changing my perspective, changing my role of where I originally thought I saw myself in the business. So, Kara and I have ran this business every single day for the last 5.5 years. We were the people injecting, we were the people checking out, we were the people cleaning the bathrooms, we were doing it all. And I think probably a little over maybe a year or two, I had the mindset shift that like, I can't be everything in this business. And at some point I was like, I just want to be the visionary of this business. I want to grow, or I want to not have to be the person that's delivering the amazing outcomes, but maybe setting protocols and setting treatment plans that the patient still gets the kind of vision I have for them, but I'm not literally the person injecting or in the room delivering it. So I would say having the flexibility or even just the ability to think beyond where you are right now of where you want to be, and being okay with that changing in the business. But for me, it was that I think I was like, okay, I think it's a new role for me.
Yeah. So speaking of you said hats, wearing different hats, which I think is a common theme among a lot of business owners, especially new ones. So now you're having to shift that role and that responsibility over to someone else, which is a huge sacrifice for a lot of businesses, because they're thinking, okay, this was already a huge plunge, a huge investment. Now we have to invest in somebody else. How important is it to have a system in place to be able to train someone? And when do you find the time to train that person to execute exactly what you're looking for to make your business successful?
Right.
Absolutely important. And we're learning along the way.
Yeah, it's kind of that building the plane as you fly it, and then almost making a new iteration of what you just did, right? So we brought on our first employee 3 or so years ago.
Yeah.
And, what we did with that one employee is not what we do today with our other employees. So I think part of that is in the hiring process, being very transparent about, we are building this business. Do you want to be a part of something that's growing and evolving? It could be every day, it could be every week, it could be every month, every year. And so making sure your people that you bring on are bought in to building something, not just coming in and being like, clock in, clock out, this is what I'm going to do, that's my job, that's not my job. So I think that's important as a business owner. And what I would say is as soon as you can financially, hire the expert, right? Hire the person that does the thing or that's passionate about the thing. Because it'll take one less thing. I call them closing the tabs in your brain. It'll take one less thing out of your brain and put you in the seat where you're actually building a business, and you're not you just don't have a full-time job of being a business owner, right?
Yeah. So how do you find someone that maintains and keeps continuity with your brand, right? That keeps it consistent? What is your goal, and has your brand changed since the very beginning?
It definitely has changed. At first we were just, let's just do Botox. And then now it's evolved to a totally different mindset. I love that word right now, apparently. But instead of just treating what the patient wants, we're looking at it as a whole. We can't just treat your forehead without treating your frown lines, for example. But I don't know. It's just...
I mean, I think that's really interesting that you're saying that too, because even in the schools, like the master esthetician field is changing, I think, a lot of the med spas, because it's like you said, you can do injectables, but then where do you go from there? How are you retaining that client? How are you getting them to come in and buy product every single month? Because Botox, depending on the person, they may come in every 3 to 6 months. Same thing with injectables. How has that transformed you guys as business?
Yeah, I think, in terms of the way that we practice, it's holistic.
Yeah.
I think that's where Kara is leading us to, is that what we used to think our business was just providing beauty treatments, right? Like, you want your wrinkles gone, I got you. You want your lips plumper, right? I can do that. And over the years, it's evolved to injectables are only one part of the way that you're aging, right?
Absolutely.
And so we talk about the ecosystem of our face, right? From the bone up to the skin. So with our clients, it's not like Botox is going to fix everything. You are good to go. See you in 6 months. We put people on treatment plans. We talk about how if you don't brush your teeth and you want these beautiful white teeth and go to the dentist, you're asking for a lot for a twice a year treatment, right? So you have to brush. So our clients are encouraged, you need to see our master estheticians. You need skincare to support this. I say that you get, 80% of your results at home. I'm only dropping a little bucket of Botox and filler into your skin every 3 to 6 months. What you do every day matters more in the aging process. And so I think for us, taking that mindset of it was just beauty, and then we've incorporated wellness. We, really dive into the true health of people, because a lot of times they don't actually realize that, like we say, what you do at home matters. What you're eating is affecting your skin, right? Exercising, your sleep, all of these habits are affecting your skin and your outcomes. And we want you to have the best outcome. So we treat you as a whole person.
And it's something that I tell our students too. It's not just the outside, it's the inside. Man, wouldn't it be amazing that if a master esthetician can partner with someone like you guys, but also like a nutritionist, because it all goes hand in hand. And I see very few med spas that are doing that.
Oh, and I think that's what sets us apart. Is our estheticians, they take health nutrition courses on how it impacts their skin. We educate them on the gut microbiome of how they affect your skin. So my esthetician can tell you, hey, you have signs that you've got maybe some gut disruption causing these symptoms on your skin. And they'll, refer them into us to do a full intake. Kara is a certified nutritionist. So we do
you
all of that. You
guys got it all. Literally, you have it all then.
We do, right? We're our goal is a whole person care. And I think our goal is to give women what we want. I want to walk in an office and someone be like, Gabrielle, I think your gut or I think your hormones is what's causing these things that you're, talking to me about today. Even my doctor, doesn't take the time to have a detailed conversation about what I'm eating to impact my health. So I think that's where we are different, is as much as this is a med spa, we are bringing medicine and whole person care to aesthetics.
I mean, that's interesting because we know that nutrition is so important. And again, I don't see it too much, but it's such an interesting thing to hear you guys speak so detailed about what you're doing, because a lot of places they go in, they get their Botox injections, they go home, there's not even a consultation. And it sounds like to me that you're doing the full consultation and the full follow-up. And it's something that I rarely see done. And a lot of med spas, they're looking for master estheticians to do more of that. But I see that you guys are already doing it. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Do you find that the feedback that you get from your clients is surprising?
I love the education.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say it's surprising. I think they kind of come to us knowing they're going to be seen and heard, and they're also going to leave with really good information about themselves, about their health, from professionals who really understand what they're going through. So I don't say that they're surprised. They are like, oh my gosh, nobody ever said that to me. Nobody ever told me that, right? You'll be surprised. You mentioned having a thorough consultation. How many clients who've had injectables for years, and I'm like, okay,
Nothing's explained.
Yeah, here's the risk, here's the benefit, of these treatments, and they're like, what? Nobody ever told me that could happen if I had, Botox or filler injected in my face, and I'm like, I'm fully transparent with you because this is medicine and you should know what's going in your body and what's the potentials of what could happen, just as if I sent you with, a blood pressure pill, right?
Mm-hmm. So have you ever had a patient that came to you and requested something that either you were unfamiliar with, or maybe you heard a little bit about it? Maybe it was something like a new medication. I know peptides are like a big thing right now. Something that somebody told you and you're like, okay, yeah, so this is controversial, or okay, it's something that I've been exploring. What's that one thing that you are hearing from most patients right now?
I've had tons of people ask me my opinion on peptides.
What is your opinion on peptides?
If it's not from a legit compounding pharmacy, don't do it.
I've just heard recently a little bit about compound pharmacies and like how they operate and how they work, which I guess back in the day, that's where people would mostly get their medication from compound pharmacies. So what's something that a patient should look for? I mean, obviously seeing their doctor first, obviously that's really important, but what's something that right now you would feel like this is what they should be doing if they were a patient, or maybe they are a current patient?
Yeah, I think everything should start with biomarkers, right? Like if you're going into an office asking for a peptide, you should have a baseline biomarker.
So don't get it online.
Yes.
to guide that, to guide that therapy, right? Like if we're just putting something in our body with one goal in mind, but there's something else that we haven't uncovered in terms of like your biomarkers, you're not fully informed on what you're doing to your body. A great example is I have a client who came to me who was on peptides from an online pharmacy, and the question was like, hey, can I transfer my care to you? And during a full intake, it was discovered that this patient is not eating enough protein or nutrients to get to his goal of building muscle, right? But we're injecting our bodies with multiple peptides to grow muscle. And so it goes back to the foundation of like, you have to be like feeding and fueling your body to get to the goal. And these peptides are a supplement to that. We're not going to synthesize protein out of nowhere. And so just being able to have that like very foundational conversation with people and then be like, okay, let's check your biomarkers, which is, your blood work, to see, one, are you a candidate? And two, where are we starting? And here's where we're going to go. So I think that is the biggest thing for me in terms of like the trending of peptides is, foundation and knowing what you're putting in your body and where you're starting at.
And not the quick fixes.
Which a lot of people want.
I know. I'm guilty of it, but...
Well, they see, who's that new, is it Hillary Duff?
I just went to her concert last night.
She's been blasting all over, which is how amazing her body is. I mean, do you find that some patients come in, they're like what you just said, like they don't have the patience to wait. They want a body that looks like that. We're in the summertime. How do you turn away a patient and say, okay, listen, we're not doing this. We have to check your blood. We have to make sure this is the right one or the right fit for you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a non-negotiable. Yeah. So, like, it's a non-negotiable in terms of, like, I practice ethically and safely. Like, if you would like a prescription from me, then we are going to start here, and that's how it's going to go. So I think it's setting the standard, right? They're coming to you because you're the expert and they want your guidance. Otherwise, they would go to an online pharmacy, right? If they were like, I know all of this, I'm going to listen to Bro Science.
We do have some of those.
And all the podcasts to tell me how to take my meds. That's okay.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's fine. They're just not our patients, right? Like, so the person that comes to us is someone who really wants to know and understand their body and move closer to their goals in a safe and a very, healthy way.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Hillary Duff was still performing.
She just...
In Seattle?
Auburn.
Wow. Okay.
It was really cute.
I didn't know that she was still doing tours.
I didn't either.
How was it, by the way?
It was good.
It was good.
I brought my kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their first official concert?
A first official concert.
Wow. What did they think? I bet they were super excited.
They were super excited. A little tired towards the end, but I'm like, it's the What Dreams Are Made Of song. We have to make it through.
Okay. Lots of pictures, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Kids are fun. So when deciding whether to invest in new technology or treatments, so whether peptides, how do you determine whether it's a smart business decision versus simply following a trend?
A lot of device-wise, we demo them first and ask our colleagues their true opinions if the device is sitting there or not.
Got it.
Yeah. I think that's important is like try it on yourselves. Like, right. Most of the time before we bring something on in the practice, we've tried it. Right. If not on ourselves, we've had friends and family who have also, been like, okay, yeah, I'm open to trying it. And then I would say, like
The needs.
Yeah, the need. Survey your patients, right? Buying a laser is not going to bring patients, right? So, and it's not the magic fix to a business if you all of a sudden have a laser, because everybody down the road has a laser. So what's going to make it different? And making sure that you have the clientele that actually has the need for it. I think that's important.
Do you guys currently have a laser?
No, we've been demoing though.
Okay, so am I allowed to ask what's been your favorite one so far?
What's that one called? Cool Peel?
So far we've been loving Cool Peel, or we'll just call it, like, we've been really liking the idea of bringing on like something more ablative, like a CO2. Yeah.
Well, I know you spoke to Tim a few months back. He loves the CO2. We went down to Napa Valley. He ended up buying the Helix. Yes, it's
That's the one I did
Okay.
recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you find that you have to leave Washington to go to other places just to test out lasers?
They came to our office.
No.
Did they bring the device to your office?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. See, I wish I would have done that for our school, but I did not.
Yes.
So with the so right now you're kind of determining. Now, obviously, you had mentioned whether or not there's a need for your patients. Are you finding that there is a need for a CO2 laser?
Yeah, definitely. We have, less invasive kind of treatments that treat pigment, or like a client maybe that doesn't want to go have a bleph and has pretty significant laxity in the eye area. There's pretty amazing things you can do with the CO2. So, yeah.
So what prompted you, or what did you see that you're like, you know what, I really want to get a laser? I think this would be really great for our practice.
Yeah, I think it's when your patients start asking for something that you are referring out. And for a long time, I was very comfortable be like, oh, Dr. X, Y and Z has that, or, this doctor or that practice has it. But when you hear kind of the same concern come up multiple times, you're like, okay, my patients are asking for it, and I don't have the tool in my office, to treat them. We could be retaining them. I mean, they don't tend to go somewhere else after they get their treatment. They tend to come back. But if you could, again, provide that whole, person care, and that sometimes means going a little bit more, aggressive in certain treatments.
I do like the idea of lasers being used. I mean, back in the day, 20 years ago, when I was playing around with lasers when I was in New York, it was fascinating. The technology's been so much more advanced. It's even able to treat like a higher Fitzpatrick. Tell me a little bit about your practice, your med spa. Are you also looking to treat a higher Fitzpatrick with the lasers as well?
Yeah, it's important to me, being someone who, is of a darker fit, that we have a laser that's versatile. So with the CO2 and, the Helix versus the Cool Peel or whatnot, having the ability to tune that laser to that person's skin tone, and also speaking to the expectation, right? Like, it's going to take us more treatments to get you to results at lighter, resurfacing or whatnot. And then treating patients if they need to be on like a hydroquinone or something beforehand. So just being fully informed about that device, and then also sharing that with the patient, like, hey, we have to go very, very, conservative, which means X, Y, and Z. I have to do more treatments or not. Yeah.
And I feel like patients really, really appreciate the transparency that we provide.
Especially like if you can't do something, and to be totally honest, right? And a lot of people aren't honest. They'll just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Now, if you could tell the audience, if there is someone that has a lot more melanin in their skin, what would you say to bring business into your practice? Because a lot of people that don't have Fitzpatrick, sometimes there is that feeling of like, no one can cater to my skin type. And that's pretty unfortunate. We should be able to train our master estheticians, our nurse practitioners, how to be able to treat higher levels of Fitzpatrick scales or skin types.
Yeah.
What would you say to the audience that maybe they're a little bit scared to come in because they don't know if someone can treat their skin type?
I think that's very important, and I think that's a valid question that you should ask every time you walk into a practice, right? Have you treated someone like myself? Have you treated someone of, my skin type? Because there are people who have this concept, or even, the laser companies will say like, safe for all skin types. Well, that is nuanced, right? Meaning that, yes, we can treat your skin, but it's going to be at this level, not with, the same expected outcomes. So I think it's valid that, patients who have ethnic skin ask those questions. And I think it's important, for someone like yourself who is training master estheticians to acknowledge that there are differences in the skin and educate on that, because I don't like the term that like we don't see color, or, when I see advertisements that say, it doesn't show color. No, I want you to see my color and know that you're confidently educated on how to treat it. So for me, it's like, yep, ask all those hard questions. Just like I would expect a, patient to walk in and be like, what's your degree? I'm not offended by someone asking me what my degree is or what my training and credentials are. Like, please, I'm happy to share all of the knowledge that I've gained with you, and, how I can build that trust with you. So
I love that you said that, because I know there's some companies out there, like you said, you made a great point. They say, we treat all skin types. It's like, well, you got to be very cautious the way you say that, because you might have a professional that's maybe not trained appropriately that assumes that they can go on a same energy level and go all the way up, and then you end up burning a client.
yes.
And that is really scary. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah.
So we're going to lead into a different conversation here, a little bit away from like the lasers, but still in technology. So, AI is a big thing right now. I'm sure you guys have probably been exploring it, looking at it, wondering, taking a peek. Artificial intelligence is changing nearly every industry, including ours. So where do you see AI making the biggest impact in the patient care and in your practice?
Definitely on the back back end of things. What do we call him? Chad.
He has a name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask Chad.
Yeah.
Do you guys have other AI employees?
We don't, but we're definitely interested in it, right? Because, as a business owner, there's so much back end stuff. It's like, man, if I could just have someone to just be working on this while I'm sleeping, that would be amazing, right?
We kind of deal with our aesthetic record.
Yeah, some of our software,
It's
they'll
not really AI.
They'll send messages, and it's automation.
Yeah.
I would love to see, AI. For me, I use it. I use it in select situations, right? Like the thing about me, I love people. Like, I'm a people person, right? Mm-hmm. If I get an automatic, like, really just impersonal, like, text or message, I'm like, I can read right through that. That's not you writing. So I love to kind of sprinkle in what is my voice, give it to AI, write it, refine it, maybe fix my grammar or something, because I'm just typing it away. And then I'll take out what sounds like me and use it. I don't like when it's just so generic that, you can tell it was, written by a robot or something. So that's my little about AI. If it's a back end thing, I love it. But if it's like a person-to-person contact or communication, I would rather it be like
more personable.
Yeah.
Like with our leads, when the leads come in, like just having these generic text messages that get sent to them. It's so much more personal when we actually call them or send them a personalized text.
I agree. I do like that personalization a little bit more. I also find that sometimes you have to train the AI. Like, there's a brain in the back end. It takes time to really get to know you, get to know your brand, your voice, your personality. And that's kind of hard because you always have to go back and edit for like the first couple of months just to train it.
Yeah.
In AI, utilizing AI, where do you feel like AI has helped you the most in your business specifically? And where you've seen improvements in your business because of it? And I do have a third question to that too.
I think it's definitely made it easier for standard authorization procedures, things like that, which, in the past, writing them yourself is just tedious. I think that has really made it, as a business owner, very, very, like, easy to get through and make sure you have a process for everything. Because, if it's not like how you wash the dishes to fold the laundry, like, there's a lot of room for interpretation amongst team members. So I think that has really been helpful, of, like, having a policy and procedure for everything, for sure.
Okay, and how much time do you think that AI has saved the both of you in your back-end processes? If you could guesstimate how many hours during the month that it saved you. And then, you know what? Why not ask a fourth question? How much do you feel like it saved you in cost?
Yeah, I don't know about hours, but it's probably saved us a lot of money in cost. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I have gone as deep into, it as like, taking our P&L sheet, right? And asking it to analyze it and, project like, where costs could be better or things like that. And then so one thing about me with the AI is like, okay, I'll take your information, but I want to verify it, right? Like hallucinations. So I'll send that to my CFO and be like, hey, this is what AI is suggesting, and can you look over it and make sure, are we on that same trajectory of what AI would predict for us to be at, and like, are there any areas that maybe he's incorrect, right? So I do like that. I do think there still has to be a human check in there.
Do you think Chad's been pretty accurate so far? He's not going to lose his job tomorrow or anything.
So far, but like you said, you're teaching him, right? Like he is learning from you. And so just being fully aware that the responses that you have in conversations you've had in the past with him are impacting his response for you today. And so you have to like explicitly ask without bias of X, Y, and Z, or use maybe like Forbes or somewhere else as a resource, So you do have to be mindful that you have taught it how you want to receive information, right? You've taught it like the way that you're processing information.
So is there anything that Chad has done that you've been disappointed by, that you've questioned, all right, why did we bring in AI? Why are we doing this? Besides like having to rewrite some of the messages. Is there something that he just
didn't get right?
Yeah, Chad might
always
lose his
agreeing
job.
with you.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's where you have to question him. I think that's where you have to question him.
No.
Like, no, we're not. No. I need you to give me a non-biased answer.
Yeah.
Or a biased answer.
Yeah, there's nothing that I think that we've taken from, Chad or, implemented that we haven't doubled down on questioning that, like, where are you getting that information? Is that accurate? Hypothetically, what if this? So I think for the most part, you just have to be mindful of, he learned from you and your mindset of what questions you've asked.
Just the same as we would train an employee, right?
Yeah.
Now, is there something that you wish that Chad could do that he's not doing right now?
All the social media and
marketing.
That would be
great.
I mean, I worked really hard with him with that, but
I mean, nothing to the amazing setup that we have here, but God, I wish we could do like a quick video, right? Like, the thing that you repeat over and over, like to clients, like I would love a video that, your post-care instructions that are from me, right? Like
not AI generated.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a video of me and my likeness, tailored to that person's treatment, but it's almost like it's delivered from me, right? Mm-hmm. So that would be great if, like, it was there.
You mean like an avatar?
Yeah, like an avatar, right? Like, so they're feeling the same presence as if I was delivering the message to them, so patient instructions or, I think.
Instead of their paperwork.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, they would get an auto-generated email, and then you guys would pop up and say, okay, here's your aftercare instructions.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. There is a company that's based out of LA that I was actually looking at, because I'm like you, where it's like, oh my God, I'm tired of posting all the time. Because that in itself is work. You can spend hours a day just posting stuff.
And then your brain power is shot.
Yeah. I did finally use an AI company to do our social media, and our students were complaining. They were just like, Jen, that's me, but it's not me. I'm like, I uploaded a bunch of photos, and I told Sunny to get it right, and Sunny was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I want my own people on this. And then I got upset at him, and he argued with the other AI employees, because we use Marbleism, and we have an AI receptionist, we have an AI executive assistant, and they argue back and forth with each other. And it's so funny that they blame each other. They're like, wait, that's Stan's fault. He was supposed to pick up the leads. But it would be nice to have like an avatar of your own.
Yeah.
Delivering exactly what you need. So there was a company based out of LA where you go down there and they take a picture of you, like all parts of you.
Like 360.
Yeah, like all 360. Yeah, and then you're like talking so that way it gets your mouth right. You ever tried AI? I'm like, listen, I've tried it all just to try to minimize my time that I'm doing social media. Yeah. I feel your pain. And so when I go into Grok and I try to do some videos, it's like my teeth, my smile, like from here to here. I'm like, that's not even like how a real person smiles.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like whatever picture you put, like the second or third iteration is not even the same person.
Oh wait,
anymore.
it
just keeps creating its own thing. I'm like, okay, that's not even me anymore. Yeah. I mean, where do you find the time to do the social media? Because
it's been the death of me, honestly. I got on a really good kick like for 3 months with the help of our esthetician that had left, and we were in a good rhythm. And I'm like, I'm literally spending 4 hours a week doing 1 or 2 posts or emails. You know, I'm just like, I can't.
I dread it. I dread it every time. There is a good app that I've been using called Vids. That's pretty good. It's like CapCut. You just upload your video. That's been really convenient. Also, something that I get our students to do that has helped out tremendously because of time is collaboration. So anytime a student posts anything, they just hit invite as a collaborator. I'm like, oh, thank God. That like saves me at least like a good hour or 2 of time, because sometimes I can't always film what students are doing because I'm busy helping a student or teaching a class. So collaboration, I think, has been like essential, or even maybe having a client just like take photos and videos.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work. But I also noticed that you guys also have a lot of branding photos too. How do you feel like that's helped your business, having those branding photos?
Tremendously. I think people want connection with real people. I mean, looking on the back end of social, you know, like the things that do well are usually things that have our face, have personal, you know, tied to us. You know, it's not just the templated thing. It's usually when one of us or, you know, all of us are in that front screen. So I think branding photos are important. You could, you know, get in the weeds of spending a lot of money
I would do it every quarter
year.
You kind of need to, though.
Yes,
you really do. You really
refresh,
because if they send you like 100 photos, you can just, like my photographer, she took a picture of my feet, like just like the knee down, and she's like, you can use that for one photo, or you can use it just taking a picture of your computer with your hands on this photo. She was just doing all kinds of things that you can use. But you're right, like if you could do it every quarter, definitely do it every quarter. But then something else I wanted to talk to you guys about too. So like you're building this brand, you're building this business. It looks great, looks wonderful. How do you step away? Or do you plan to ever step away where, I mean, like, is there a second or third Onyx in the future?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I've been slowly kind of moving out of patient care and being more in the kind of leadership role of the business. So I don't envision that I'll never be a face of the company. It's just in a different role, right? So like if all the photos are, you know, of Kara and I think that still translates to the brand that we built. And so stepping away,
it's different. It's different. It's not just
I mean, you'd never.
The...
I don't see us leaving this baby and being like, "Bye, I'm going to Florida for 5 months" or something like that.
I mean, that would be nice.
It would be nice, right? Then I would probably like get bored and have to do something else while I'm there too.
But do you think that so a lot of companies will try to go after businesses and say, like, don't you want to get away from that patient care? Don't you want to expand your brands? Because there's a challenge in that, because a lot of people, when you look at your patients, they're not there just because of the name Onyx. They're there because you guys are Onyx. So it sounds like to me that you guys plan to, no matter what, still be that brand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like I became a nurse because I like helping people.
So you like working with people all the time.
But I need to do something a little, help the CEO out.
So do you guys plan on having like a second or third location? And if so, how do you split that time?
We need a bigger space first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're there yet for like multiple locations. You know, we're still very like in the growth and scale phase. So I don't see like a second location happening yet. I never say never yet, but we're definitely growing. We're definitely looking for new talent and like new injectors or new providers to like grow and build and kind of almost even like hand off kind of the knowledge that we have. Like that's where I feel is like knowing and having all the knowledge with me does not serve as many people as if we share that knowledge with others and grow others, right? I can have a larger impact by sharing what I know with other people and, you know, making them a part of the brand.
You know, one thing I love about you guys' brand, because I know you had taken one of our students, is, I told her, I was like, their business is so intentional. Like, no, not even joking. Like, I told her, I was like, it's so intentional. It's very rare that I see that in business too. A lot of people, they open up, they don't have a system in place. They're kind of lost in the sauce. Like, granted, you're always going to be learning things. I get it. We're always going to be perfecting things. But the fact that you had a system from the very jump, I think is pretty phenomenal. Do you think that your success and your growth is dependent upon that?
We listened to a lot of podcasts in the beginning.
Yeah, and I think we were very intentional in the beginning. You know, at the time when we started Onyx, we were both still in the hospital or in, you know, clinics. Like I was doing consults while working cardiology. My lunch break was doing, you know, online, you know, GFEs and consults. So I knew that I could only grow this business as fast or as big as the capacity I had to keep it, you know, safe, keep it intentional, keep it within, you know, like I know what's going on with all the people. So yeah, we've always been very intentional because, you know, you could just start hiring and just accept every patient that walked in the door. But that wasn't for us because it's more like, you know, if everybody came in, it'd be like a chain of McDonald's, right? Like, you know, you can pick and choose off the menu everything you want versus like we're very like focused on the person in front of us and creating outcomes and treatment plans, you know, for that person. It's not like a stop and go Botox shop. So I think,
get to pick and choose.
yeah, I think that's where we, you know, maybe haven't grown as big or as fast as other practices have maybe in 5 years. In terms of size or in terms of space and having like 5-6 rooms, but we have a very loyal patient following and our clients are very well taken care of. And it's that Pareto's principle, you know, where like 80% of your outcome or 80% of what you know, get, the returns, the revenue, the everything, it only comes from 20% of the people that you're serving. That other 80% that are, you know, popping in for the $12 Botox, they're not building your brand, you know, they're just
shopping around.
Yeah. And so we are very intentional with like who we choose to take on as clients, who we, you know, put our time and energy into. And I think our clients really feel that and appreciate that because, you know, we really just like slow it down to really get to the root of what they're there for.
So more about quality than the quantity.
Absolutely.
Which I think a lot of people sometimes hit that number is they'll just go crazy with possibly like the discounts. And you want those quality clients because I do agree with you. Even with Next Door at the Spa, most of our loyal clients are the foundation of the business, which is so key.
Yeah.
All right. So a fun question for you guys.
Yeah.
So if you could, what theme song would you create for your business or what would you have for your business?
It would change every day.
Yeah.
It would change every day. What would that theme song be?
I don't know what that song would be.
We could take it back. We could take it all the way back. Old school.
I don't know. I don't know why, but Destiny's Child, I'm a Survivor just came into my mind.
You know what? That's a great theme song.
Would that fit?
Because you're having to survive all the chaos when it comes to being a business owner, being a wife, and being a mom.
Yeah, it's like I'm a survivor. I won't give up. I'm like that. I think that fits. Like, you know, especially being all of the things, right? Like it fits in my head, but I can't think of anything else. But that came to mind.
How do you think that if this were a reality TV show and that was a theme song, what do you think the opening part would be?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Might be something to think about. Might be something that maybe Noah could put together.
I don't know. We need to
on your Instagram. All right. So last question for you guys.
I'm gonna ask Chad. No,
ask Chad.
Yeah.
Ask Chad.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chad needs another AI person. So what's you guys' personal goal? So now we talked about the business. What is your personal goals?
My personal goal is to grow our business wellness side.
Okay.
Because it's a passion of mine, and I just know we can reach people differently than other offices can.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's business. But
I mean,
still,
sometimes
it's like the same.
It's hard when you love what you do so
Yeah.
much. I mean, some people ask me like, I mean, when my mom comes and visit me and she's like, we should go on vacation. I was like, my ideal vacation is being left alone for like 2
In a
days
hotel
straight.
room.
Yeah, and just working on my business. But that brings me joy.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy because people say there should be a work-life balance or you should have a hobby. That is kind of my hobby.
Right.
I love it. I love being able to find things that work. So I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
My personal goal is to do more family vacations, just in general. We have been doing a lot of camping. We're cruisers now. We've been on a few cruises. So, like, if I were to say, like, what is the best life balance for me is, like, a quarterly vacation with my family is, like, the ultimate goal.
You've been doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost been
You're hitting the check marks.
half a year.
How do you meet that goal if you're traveling every quarter and someone's a business owner and like, all right, I'm just asking for myself. How do you like reach that goal where you say, no matter what, I'm committed to this no matter what? And then when you take that time, how much time are you taking off?
We tag team.
Yeah, we tag team. And I don't think I'm ever eyes off, right? So it's like hands off, but eyes on, right? Like, so if I'm on vacation, I'm not like an all or nothing, like phone in the drawer, don't touch it, you can't think about business. Like, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
We're like ambitious people that just, every once in a while I'm popping in, like, how's everything moving in the clinic? With technology, you can, access your flow, your phone charts, your all of that. So I'm popping in, checking, make sure there's no fires, and then I just put it away. So I'm not an all or nothing kind of person where, like, I'm on vacation, I can't touch anything with work, but being present when I need to be present is what's important to me. So if my kid's swimming in the pool and I'm sitting here, listening to a podcast, yeah, I might check in, make sure the clinic's fine. Okay, they got it, right? Like, and it's okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for coming out. I really do. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
I can't wait to see what happens in your business growth, second, third, fourth location, more vacations on a yacht somewhere, maybe in Europe. That would be
I'm
nice.
for it.
Oh,
I'm for it.
Same. With that being said, thank you so much, Gabrielle. Thank you so much, Kara, with Onyx Med Spa and Lacey. Oh, one more. How do clients follow you? If people are watching this podcast, how can they follow you?
Yeah, so we are very active on Instagram.
I'm like, wait, what is our handle?
TikTok too?
Oh man, not TikTok for me.
That was a deep sigh.
But I do hear, like, it's a big thing for reaching clients and getting new people in the door. I do hear that.
List.
Yes. But we're
More
on
pressure.
Instagram.
No more pressure on you.
Yeah. You can find us at onyx_medical_aesthetics. We have our own kind of like personal Instagrams that, you can see we tag and collaborate with. But really, like, our website, onyxmedicalastheticspa.com, and you can find us there.
And book their appointments.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much.